Hey everybody. I was looking through some of my magic cards and stuff, so I wanted to make another video. And I had the thought, well, if Tarkir was the last set that came out, and we're getting ready for this Final Fantasy set, like what can I show that's kind of new and kind of interesting? And I realized that I had completely skimmed over my Zurgo deck. So a couple months ago, not a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, I think, I showed off the Jeskai like Spellslinger kind of precon. But before I even did that, I had this Mardu Zurgo deck that I had been playing with Mobilize and just completely forgot to make a video about it. So I figured we go through some quick hands, go through some strategy and stuff, and then talk about what I've done and changes that I've made to the precon. If you were thinking about picking up this precon, if you should. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So if we grab this first chunk of cards, Path of Ancestry, a mountain, comes with its own soul ring from the set, Battlefield Forge, Hero of Bladehold, Battle Cry, whenever this creature attacks, create 2/1/1 white soldier creature tokens. This is a good card. Comes in the precon. Some of the dragon lands I thought were cool. This precon does come with its own lightning greaves, which is really good. Gives your creature haste and shroud. Equip for 0. Bojuka Bog, Shattered Sanctum, Shock Brigade. So I replaced a lot of the cards in here with cards from the set that have Mobilize, because Zurgo has Mobilize 1, and whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, each opponent loses a life. So he plays really well off of this kind of mobilizing, really aggressive playstyle. So I want to lean into that with more Mobilize. So I put in Shock Brigade. It's got Menace and Mobilize 1, 2 for a 1/3. Get you some quick Mobilize triggers. Another Plains, Clifftop Retreat, Command Tower. The least Reverent Medium. At the beginning of each end step, create X/1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you create this turn. So you get 3 Mobilize 1s at the end of your end step. Excuse me, at the beginning of your end step. Or each end step, create that many spirits. So just some good Mobilize. You don't get to keep those warriors, so you can create some spirits for the warriors that you mobilized. Nightblade Brigade is another card that I added. It's got Mobilize, but this one's got Death Touch. And when it enters, you surveil one. Battle of Remembrance is good. When this enchantment enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier. And then whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. So sacrificing these mobilized warriors every end step, you will deal some damage and gain some life. Gold Knight Commander is a great combo piece. Whenever another creature you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 on a turn. So if you can mobilize a bunch, each combat you can give all of your creatures a bunch of +1/+1s till end of turn. Cool Evolving Wilds. There was a different Evolving Wilds, like the more generic art. I replaced it with this kind of dragon art. Fetid Heath. Commander's Insignia. Creatures you get control get +1/+1 for each time you cast your commander from the command zone. So if you play really aggressive and get Zurgo destroyed a couple of times, give everybody +1/+1s. Stroke of Midnight is really good. Destroy a permanent. Smoldering Marsh. Dragon Skull Summit. Siege Gang Commander. When this creature enters, create 3/1/1 red goblins. So just get you some more tokens. There is a better, I think it's Siege Gang Lieutenant. If you didn't want to run Commander, you could run Lieutenant instead. Hour of Reckoning. Destroy all non-token creatures. Very good asymmetric one-sided board wipe. More lands that come with it. Cool Kamigawa land that I had lying around. Talisman of Conviction. Will of the Mardu. Choose one or both you control your commander. Create a number of 1/1 red warrior creature tokens equal to the number of creatures target player controls. Or deal damage to target creature equal to the number of creatures you control. So if you're playing against another token deck, you can make a bunch of warriors or deal a bunch of damage. This was a flying scout that I added. Whenever this creature attacks, another target creature you control gains flying. So on a turn, attacking tokens you control have flying. So I try to put a lot of cards in here that give all of the tokens buffs and stuff. So all of these warriors that you're about to mobilize will get flying. Legion Loyalty is really good. Creatures you control have Myriad. If you're playing 1v1, it's not that good. But if you're playing in a big group, it does great. Windburst Kites. More mountains. Dragonback Lancer. Flying Mobilize. Bone Cairn Butcher has Mobilize 2. And attacking tokens you control have Death Touch. So you get Bone Cairn and Starry-Eyed Skyrider. Now your tokens have Flying and Death Touch. Just buffing them up a little bit. Divine Visitation. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, create that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with Flying and Vigilance instead. If you mobilize and create these angels, I believe the ruling you still have to sacrifice those angels, but instead of 1/1s, make a bunch of 4/4s. Maelstrom the Spear Dragon I drew from a pack. Add color for dragons, and then you can sack to search for a dragon. Really, I only use it for that opportunity if I don't pull. There's only like 2 dragons in here, so if I need to fetch one. TKJ is welcome, get some card draw. Whenever a token enters, you'll pretty much be doing a token every turn. Redoubled Stormsinger. Whenever this creature attacks, for each creature token you control that entered this turn, create a tapped and attacking token. That's a copy of that token. At the beginning of the next step, sacrifice those tokens. So you get a bunch of mobilize, double them, and then sack them anyways. Getting a bunch of triggers on Zurgo. Castle, Ardenvale, Reigning Victor, Orc with mobilize. When he enters, target creature gets +1/+0 and gets indestructible until end of turn. Viscera Seer, great sack outlet. Since you're going to have to sacrifice your warriors anyways at your end step, especially for mobilize, you're going to have to sacrifice them anyways. You can just sack them to Viscera Seer. Anok, Strike Leader. Whenever you attack with this creature and or your commander, for each opponent, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking that player. Sack this creature token to control get indestructible. So he's good, gets you a little bit of some token ramp, but also if you need to keep your tokens around, wanting to do some Zurgo damage. Because if you attack with a bunch of tokens in your opponent's block, Zurgo will trigger and you will draw a card for each one of those tokens. So if your opponent has 5 life and you're attacking with 5 tokens and they block those 5 tokens, you will draw 5 cards, but you might want to keep them to deal 5 damage when you have to sack them at the end of your end step. So Anok is good. Give him indestructible. Keep him till your end step. All out assault, creatures you control get +1/+1 have death touch. When it enters, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you attack this turn, untap each creature you control. So, good little win con. Or not win con. Yeah, like if you can get a bunch of attackers. Whenever another creature you control, that creature gets +2/+0 until it gain haste at the end of turn. So if you mobilize 5, get +10/+0, and gain haste. So it's pretty cool. Destroy target creature, create 2 red 1/1 warrior tokens. They gain haste and sack them. Mahadi is cool. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each creature that died this turn. So resolve the sacrificing mobilize triggers, and then resolve this trigger and create a token for each, a treasure token for each creature token that died. Or Ophiomancer, at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black snake creature token with Death Touch. So Ophiomancer is good. Excuse me. To get a good blocker every turn. Reconnaissance. This is a good old card. 0 to remove target attacking creature you control from combat and untap it. So Reconnaissance is good. You have this enchantment on the field. I'm going to enter combat. I'm going to attack with Zurgo. I'm going to mobilize 1 warrior that is also tapped and attacking you. If you have somebody that is going to kill Zurgo, I'm going to pay 0 and remove Zurgo from combat and untap him. And then I still get the mobilize trigger from attacking with him, but I'm forcing you to, or I'm allowing myself not to lose Zurgo. Just attacking with a warrior. So, pretty good card. Specifically for this deck. And you can do that because it's a 0 colon. So, let's say we get a bunch of mobilizing guys, right? And let's say we do all out assault as well. So something like this. Let's say Zurgo, Reigning Victor, Bone Carrying Butcher, and Dragonborn Lancer. I'm gonna play all out assault. Creatures I control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you attack this turn, untap each creature you control. So, let's say we enter combat, right? We have all out assault in our hand, reconnaissance on the field. So I'm going to attack 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I'm going to mobilize 1, mobilize another, mobilize 2 more, and mobilize an additional 1. So for 5, I'm going to make 5 warriors. And then for each of these guys, I'm going to remove them from combat and untap them. Now I'm attacking you with 5 warriors. Then from my hand on my second main, I'll play all out assault. I'll untap these 5 warriors. I will enter my additional combat, again attacking you with all of these guys, creating 5 more warriors. Let's pretend these are warriors. And then I'm going to pay the 0 and remove each of these guys from combat again with reconnaissance. So now I keep the 5 from the first main phase. None of these guys are at risk because of reconnaissance. I've removed them from combat and I've untapped them. And creatures I control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. Now I'm attacking you with 10 2/2s with Death Touch, ignoring whatever these got going on. And then on my end step, if you didn't block any, I'm going to sack them all from the mobilize at the beginning of my end step. Zurgo will trigger, you will take the 10. So I attacked you for 5/1/1, had another combat phase, attacked you for 10 2/2, and then when I sack them all, you take 10. So if you have no blockers, or choose not to block, you've taken 25 damage in a turn. So reconnaissance is a very fun mechanic. Legion War Boss. He's at Mentor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. This isn't really anything cool. I mean, cool. I put it in here because I thought it was cool. But, as you know, whatever. Temple of Triumph. Windcrag Siege. When it enters, I'm going to choose Mardu or Jeskai. If you choose Mardu, if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. This counts for mobilize. So, attacking, create 1. Instead, you'll create 2. Or instead of 2, you'll create 4. Or Jeskai, the beginning of your deck, you create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste. So, this is a good little variety. Do you want more tokens or do you want more mobilized triggers? Professional Facebreaker, I put in here to create some treasures. And for a little bit like exile a top card of my library kind of thing. And with Mahadi, have a little bit of treasure creation. Talisman of Hierarchy, Loyal Apprentice to create some Doctors every combat. Kaya Geist Hunter. She's really good in this deck. I don't know about other decks, but you can uptick her to give all of your creatures Death Touch until end of turn, and put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature token. You can downtick her by 2 until end of turn if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control. Twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Or you can downtick her by 6, exile all cards from all graveyards, then create a white 1/1 spirit creature token with flying for each card exiled this way. So you'll either double all the tokens you'll create this turn, give all your creatures Death Touch until end of turn, or you get her up a little bit if people have been blocking, if you're dealing the Death Touch, if you're killing creatures. Now I'm just going to create a ton of spirits. Very good. Iron Will Forger also has Lieutenant. But this Lieutenant is the beginning combat on your turn. If you control your commander, target non-legendary creature you control gains Myriad until end turn. So if I give any of these crazy creatures Myriad, let's say Ogre Battle Driver, I'm going to make another Ogre for each creature or each opponent I control, and then all of my stuff will get +2 an additional time, +2 an additional time, +2 if I have 3 opponents. All of my tokens will get +6/+0 whenever another creature I control enters. So pretty good. Goldspan Dragon, excuse me. This is one of the only dragons I will fetch for, but it is worth it with the other treasure cards. Treasures is kind of like a subplot in this deck. It's okay. I put Elspeth in here because you uptick her by 1, you create 3 White Soldier tokens. It's so good. Or you destroy all creatures powerful or greater. Again, another asymmetrical board wipe. Or you give your creatures +2/+2 and flying. So we're going to be creating a bunch of tokens. It's going to be really good. Infantry Shield is really good too. It's gotten really good recently. The more people start to use it. Gives equipped creature Menace and Mobilize X, where X is its power. So there's another card in here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. We haven't looked at it yet. But Adeline, Resplendent Cather, her power is equal to the number of creatures you control. So I'm going to resolve my 3 Mobilize triggers and have her, Zurgo, and 3 warriors. She's worth 5. With Infantry Shield, she'll mobilize 5. Now I have 6 warriors. And then she goes from a 3/4. Wait. 1, 2. So yeah, okay. 3. So she'll mobilize 3. I have 4. I don't know where I messed that math up, but yeah. You get her real big with some of these tokens. You've mobilized 10 if you want. So Adeline's really good. Her power is equal to the number of creatures you control, and whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature that's tapped and attacking that player. So yeah, it's just good. It's good. You'll trigger her attack with her. Resolve her trigger first. Say I have 3 opponents, I make 3 soldiers. That'll contribute to Infantry Shield. Very good. Skull Clamp. Crazy that they put Skull Clamp in a precon. Okay, I'm gonna equip my warrior. He's gonna die. I'm gonna draw 2 cards. Like, and you're gonna take a damage because I killed a warrior. Like, just so good. Mardu Monument's okay. Search for a basic land, or you can sack it to create 3 1/1 red warriors with Menace and Haste until end of turn. Some more token creation. Really, kind of like a fetch. Arcane Signet. I love that art. Nomad Outpost, Mountain, Felwar Stone. Goldlust Triad. This is the other dragon I have in here. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create your token. And it has Myriad. So, if you want a couple, make some treasure tokens. Grand Crescendo, I think, is the most expensive reprint in here. Create X 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Creatures you control get indestructible until end of turn. It's really good. Hardened Tactician. Pay 1 to sack a token, draw a card. If I have 10 warriors on the field and mana up, I'm just going to tap whatever mana I have, sack those tokens. Oh, you're going to kill something? In response, I'll sack it, and you'll take a damage. Really good. Or you can I'm attacking with these 5. Oh, you declare no blockers? I would rather draw cards right now. I'm going to tap 5. I'm going to sacrifice each token. Because they died while attacking, I'm going to draw 5 cards. Really good. Exotic Orchard. Naive, the backup commander. Crackling Vanguard. Flying Death Touch. When Naive enters, create 2 red 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Whenever Naive attacks, exile a number of cards from the top of your library equal to the number of differently named tokens you control. During any turn you attack with the commander, you may play those cards. Very good. Swords Plowshare. Exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to your opponent. This is just great in any kind of token creation deck. Pair that with Mirkwood Bats. Whenever you create or sack a token, each opponent loses a life. So I'm going to mobilize. Let's say I mobilize 2. I have another guy who mobilizes another one. I'm going to enter combat. I'm going to attack you with him and him. I'm going to mobilize 2. You'll take 2 from Impact Tremors. No blockers. You take 2. And then on my end step, when I sack them, you'll take 2 from Zurgo. You'll take 2 from Mirkwood Bats. You've taken 8 damage this turn. 6 of it was triggered. So, just really good. Duty Beyond Death. As an additional cost to cast a spell. Sack creature you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Again, I'm attacking you with 10 warriors. Oh, you're gonna block and kill them all? Well, I'd rather kill you right now, so I'm gonna give them indestructible until end of turn. Which also, nope, never mind. Yeah, just really good. If they all have Death Touch, you know, make them indestructible and Death Touch. Blade of Selves is good. Quick creature has Myriad. Again, if you're playing 1v1, this Myriad stuff kind of sucks. Zurgo's Vanguard, mobilize 1. This creature's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. So, another good one for mobilize. Wayfarer's Bauble, classic. Thunder of Unity, I pulled this from the little collector sample pack. Saga 1, you draw 2 cards and lose life. Saga 2 and 3, whenever creature control enters this turn, each opponent loses a life and you gain life. Just good damage. Chipping away. Twilight Drover, another good card. Whenever a creature token leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So if I'm mobilizing 1 every turn, that creature is bound to leave the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on Twilight Drover. And you can pay 3 to remove a counter and create 2 1/1 White Spirit tokens. So, kind of feeds himself. Garna, Bloodfisted Keld, does kind of the same thing as Zurgo, except this is a creature, not token. So whenever a creature dies, draw a card if it's attacking, otherwise deal damage. Tempt with Vengeance. This is a good card to pair with the treasures. Create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste. Each opponent may create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste. For each opponent who does, create that many. So, okay, I'm going to tap all my treasures. They cost 2 for Goldspan Dragon. I have 5 for Mahadi. I'm going to create 10 elementals. Do you want to create 10? If you create 10, I'll make 10 more. If you create 10, I'll make 10 more. I have 30. You each have 10. This is a very conversational piece, I think. I'm going to play Tempt with Vengeance. We now have to have a discussion at the table. Because if anybody takes the offer, it's like, I want to take the offer so that you don't just steamroll me with elementals. And then I can at least block some stuff. But if one person takes it, all of a sudden, like, I'm storming with 20 elementals. Or even if it's 5, I'm going to make 5 elementals. Anybody who's not running tokens is going to want to make some, hypothetically. That's the conversation you have to have. A Krenko player is not going to care if I have 10 elementals. He's going to have 10 goblins. But Kinnan, who doesn't have a lot of creatures and is trying to play competitive, he might want to make some blockers. Idol of Oblivion. Classic. Swamp, the last card. Yeah, Isolated Chapel. Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 have Vigilance. It's nice to give them Vigilance when you have a bunch of spirits and stuff. So, some of the cards that I am looking at adding or have taken out. So I was going to add Acacian Town. This is an old card. Put 4 citizens into play. I was going to. I think it would be fun to put like an old card in there, but for 6 mana, it's kind of whatever. Within range, I'm not a big fan of. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures attacking them. It's a good chip, but I feel it is too much. Like, I'm going to play within range. Okay, everybody's threat assessment. I am now the threat. Smile at Death, I was going to add Sun Titan, I took out. Bone Devourer, I took out. Bitter Triumph, I should probably put back, but I didn't. Alicia's Legacy is okay. A Braid, I took out. Lingering Souls, I took out. Eliminate the Competition, I took out. Grenzo, I took out. Amiri Angel, I took out. Battlefield sucks in this deck. I took it out. Shadow Summoning, I took out. Sonic Shrieker, I was going to add, but I didn't. Angel of Invention, I took out. Which really, I should probably put this one back in to make some servos, but we'll see. And then Morbid Opportunist, I took out. Here's some of the tokens. Yeah, so there's a couple ways you can play this deck. I leaned very heavily into the mobilize kind of idea. The deck is not optimal by any means. It's not. There, I could put some of those removal cards in there and be a lot better, but I thought it would be more important to put more kind of gimmicky creatures. I played this deck sparingly. It's really, oh, I beg your pardon. It's really good at a low power level. It's really bad at like a higher bracket level because all of the removal and counter spells and blah blah blah. So maybe one day I'll improve this deck up. But this is kind of my like, if everyone else is playing a precon, I'll pull this one out. And you know. Play the Mardu. So if we play our first hand, okay. Maelstrom Pass, draw, Command Tower, tap for 2, Talisman, pass. Next turn. Let's see. I should have played. Let's say turn 2 I play Castle Embrith. Untap it. Command Tower. Pay the 3 for Infantry Shield. Pass. Next turn. Pay the 2 for Talisman maybe. And then tap Talisman and this for Anok. Next turn, yeah, we're kind of having a slow start here. Let's tap for 3 in play. Takasia's welcome. Enter combat, attack, create a goblin. Let's pretend this is a goblin. I'll go Takasia's welcome trigger. I'll draw, pass. Next turn, Vault of the Archangel. Tap for 2 to play Arcane Signet. Tap for 2. Equip Anok with Mobilize. Attack, make another Goblin and 2 Warriors. Draw a card from Takasia's welcome. Something like that. Something like that. So it can move. In like an optimal world, you know, we put Esper Sentinel in here and draw a bunch of cards, but I think this is a fun kind of low level deck. So if you played this deck and have any recommendations, or you know, want to see some other stuff played, I'd like to get some more gameplay out on the channel, so we'll see. Just let me know. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next one.